The little dragon girl struggled through the blackened valley, smoke curling around broken trees and twisted metal, her tiny claws scraping the ash-covered ground. She could feel the heat still lingering in the scorched earth beneath her paws. The wind carried the scent of burnt leaves, and something bitter like fear. Her mother limped beside her, scales scratched and charred. The great dragon's wings drooped low, dragging through the debris, each step heavy and painful. The little dragon kept glancing up at her mother, eyes wide with worry and determination. "Don't cry, Mama," she whispered, her voice trembling a little, but strong enough to carry through the thick smoke. "Maybe we can find help." The mother shivered. The fire in the valley had passed but left nothing but ruin and sorrow. Her head drooped and she sniffled, trying to hide the tears from her daughter, but the little dragon could see the trembling in her jaw. The valley had been a place of play, once rivers winding between cliffs. Now all was gray and broken. Birds no longer sang, and the wind moaned between the blackened trunks like lost voices. The little dragon paused, looking around for shelter, anything that could protect them, at least for a moment. She sniffed the air and heard a faint clanging sound somewhere ahead, a metallic echo cutting through the quiet sorrow. Her heart leaped. "Is that a human?" she asked, pointing with a claw towards the flicker of movement, sparks flying like tiny stars from metal. The mother shook her head, fear in her deep eyes. "Humans are dangerous," she warned. "Do not go closer." The little dragon shook her head, resolute. "No, Mama, maybe they can help us. We cannot stay here alone. The valley is too empty, too quiet, too full of shadows." She stepped closer, dragging her mother gently towards the sound. "We have to try. We cannot wait here." The mother hesitated, watching her little dragon's eyes shining with hope. Something stirred in her chest, a faint warmth of belief. Maybe the child was right. Maybe there could be help somewhere beyond the ruin, beyond the ash. The little dragon hopped over a fallen log and brushed ash from her wings. Then she turned back, looking at her mother. "Do not be afraid, Mama. Just follow me. I will keep you safe." Her voice was tiny, yet firm like a bell cutting through the gray. The mother took a trembling step forward, trusting the little dragon's courage for the first time in hours, and together they began moving towards the strange flickering lights and the hope that lay beyond the smoke. The little dragon girl led her mother through the haze of smoke, every step careful, claws crunching on scattered stones. Sparks flickered ahead from the human's workshop light, dancing across twisted metal and broken tools. The air smelled of oil and fire, and something sharp that made the little dragon twitch her nose. "Mama, look," she whispered, pointing with a trembling claw. "Do you see the light? Maybe they can help us." The mother hesitated, fear rippling in her scales. Humans were strange creatures, unpredictable, dangerous, yet the little dragon's eyes held a bravery she could not ignore. The sparks grew brighter as they neared a low building made of metal and wood. A bell tinkled somewhere. Inside, the human was working, bending over a strange machine, sending tiny showers of sparks into the air. The little dragon tilted her head, curiosity brimming. "This human is not like the others," she said softly. "Perhaps they will help. Perhaps they know how to heal." Her mother. The mother huffed a shaky breath, her wings drooping. "What if they attack?" she whispered, her voice heavy with dread. The little dragon pressed closer. "Do not worry, Mama. They look kind. See how they move, careful and slow. Not like the hunters, not like the ones who burned our valley. We have to try." The human paused, hearing the soft footsteps. The little dragon's heart leaped, tiny chest pumping. She raised her voice a little. "Please help us," she called out, shaking a leaf in her claw, hoping it would show kindness and trust. The human straightened, wiping soot from hands, eyes wide for a moment, surprised. Then something gentler crossed the human face. They stepped toward the doorway, a hand raised in greeting. The little dragon hopped forward, wagging her tail, tiny wings quivering, excitement mingling with fear. "Mama, look, see, they are coming. They will help us." The mother swallowed hard, taking one cautious step then another, trusting the little dragon's courage. As they moved closer to the flickering light, to the sound of the human voice calling softly, and the hope that maybe, just maybe, their journey was not over yet, the mother dragon froze her claws, digging into the ash-covered ground, fear twisting her stomach. She watched the human carefully, stepping toward them, hands open and gentle. Her eyes flicked to her little daughter, whose golden eyes shone with hope and trust. "Do you really think this human will help?" she whispered, her voice trembling. But the little dragon nodded fiercely. "Yes, Mama, I feel it in my heart. They are not like the hunters, not like the ones who chased us through the smoke and fire. They can help us." The mother's tail twitched nervously. "What if they do not understand us?" she asked, her voice low and uncertain. The little dragon pressed closer, her small body brushing against her mother. "Do not be afraid. Mama, we have nothing to lose. We cannot stay here alone. The valley is empty and silent. The wind carries only ash and sorrow. We have to try." The human paused a few steps away, tilting their head as if listening to some invisible sound. The little dragon hopped onto a rock, raising her voice just a little. Please, we are hurt, we need help. The human knelt slowly, careful and calm, their eyes soft and warm. The mother swallowed hard, the warmth seemed to reach her chest, something she had not felt since the fire. The little dragon's claws itched to step forward. She nudged her. Mother, gently. See, Mama, they want to help. They are not afraid of us. The mother's heart pounded, uncertainty and fear warring with a fragile hope. She took a trembling step forward, then another, her wings quivering slightly but no longer dragging entirely. The little dragon chirped, softly encouraging her. Mama, come closer. The human extended a hand, invitingly, a small gesture, but enough to break the last threads of doubt. The mother breathed slowly, feeling the little dragon's courage flow into her own. She nodded just a little, letting the hope creep in. Maybe we can trust them. Maybe this is the beginning of something new. And together they moved closer, toward the human, toward safety, toward the possibility that someone could help them heal. The little dragon girl stepped forward, her claws scraping softly against the stones, her wings flicking nervously. The mother followed slowly, each step heavy but steady. The sparks from the human's workshop danced across their scales, painting them in gold and silver light. Little dragon's heart raced. She kept glancing back at her mother. Do not be afraid, Mama. Just follow me, she whispered, her voice barely above the hiss of the wind. The mother swallowed hard, fear still twisting her belly, but the warmth from the little dragon's confidence nudged her forward. The human knelt closer still, one hand outstretched, a gesture of welcome. The little dragon hopped onto a low rock, then leaped carefully toward the human, nudging their hand with her tiny snout. The human laughed softly, a warm sound that made the little dragon wiggle her tail with excitement. Mama, look, see, they are kind, see, they want to help us. The mother took another step, her claws sinking slightly into the soft ash. She froze for a heartbeat, imagining the fire returning, imagining the humans turning cruel. But the little dragon nudged her again, courage shining in her eyes. It is okay, Mama, they will not hurt us, they can help us. The mother's wings twitched, the human's hand stayed steady and gentle. The little dragon sniffed and chirped and nudged her mother again. Come on, Mama, you can do it together. They moved closer, still closer, to the warm glow of the workshop, closer to the sparks dancing like tiny stars, and to the hands that promised help and healing. For the first time since the fire, the mother felt a small flicker of hope inside her chest. The little dragon girl nudged her mother gently, urging her forward. The human stayed still, hand outstretched, waiting patiently. The mother's claws trembled, she sniffled, trying to hold back tears, but the little dragon chirped softly. Do not be afraid, Mama, they want to help us. She hopped closer, brushing her snout against the human's hand, a spark of trust flickering between them. The human smiled softly, their fingers moving slowly toward the mother dragon, brushing a gentle touch against her wing. The mother flinched, then froze, surprised by the gentleness of it. The little dragon chirped excitedly. See, Mama, they are kind, they will not hurt us. She pressed a small leaf into the human's hand, offering it as a gift. The human's eyes softened, leaning closer to inspect the tiny offering. The little dragon wagged her tail wings, trembling with excitement. Mama, look, we can help each other. The mother took a slow step forward, letting the human's touch brush against her scales, warmth spreading through her chest. She blinked once, twice, uncertainty and fear mixing with a strange calm. The human knelt patiently, waiting for trust to grow. The little dragon danced in small circles, chirping and nudging her mother. Come on, Mama, you can do it together. They were closer now, closer to help, closer to hope, and closer to a fragile friendship forming in the quiet, smoke-filled valley. The little dragon girl watched eagerly as the human began to examine her mother's wounds, gentle hands moving with care over torn scales and scorched skin. The mother flinched at first, each touch sharp and foreign, but the human's voice was soft, a steady hum that seemed to reach into her chest and calm the fear. She trembled slightly but did not pull away. The little dragon hopped closer, her claws scraping softly against the stones. She carried water in a small leaf cupped in her claws, offering it to the human. Here, she chirped softly, it will help soothe them. The human nodded, smiling at her small gesture, and carefully poured a few drops over the deepest cuts. The mother hissed slightly at the cold splash, then relaxed a little, warmth spreading from the human's touch through her aching body. The little dragon mimicked the motions, brushing a feathered leaf against her mother's wing, trying to help like the human had done. She chirped encouragingly, good job, Mama. See, it is not so bad. The mother sighed, a shaky breath, her tail twitching. She had never felt so vulnerable yet so safe before. The human worked patiently, explaining in soft words, their actions and motions. Though the dragons could not understand, they felt the intention and care. Each spark of warmth from the touch seemed to mend not only the skin but the fear as well. The little dragon clapped her tiny claws together when the mother flinched. "No, it is okay, Mama. The human is helping. See, they will not hurt you. You are safe." She circled around, nudging small tools closer to the human or bringing fresh leaves to apply gently to scratches. The mother watched this with awe, her heart swelling with pride and relief, seeing her little dragon, so brave and helpful. The human laughed softly, a sound like warm rain. The little dragon hopped on a rock, wagging her tail and squeaking with excitement. "It is working, Mama. We are healing together." See, the mother's wings quivered slightly, the sting fading under the careful hands. The little dragon chirped and nudged and helped wherever she could. The human smiled at the small dragon's dedication, and the mother felt something stirred deep in her chest, hope, trust, and the beginnings of joy. The valley around them still smoked and smelled of ash, but in that small space by the human's side, and with her daughter close, the mother dragon felt a fragile sense of safety, and for the first time since the fire, she dared to believe that they might survive and perhaps even thrive again. Days passed, and the dragon stayed close to the human, the little dragon girl, exploring every corner of the workshop, her claws clinking on metal and wood, her eyes wide with curiosity. The mother moved more confidently, her wings stretching slowly each day as the human showed them gentle ways to move and handle objects. They could understand the machines and tools in the workshop fascinated the little dragon. She nudged levers and pressed buttons, copying the human's careful movements and laughing when sparks flew harmlessly around her. "Mama, look, see what I can do," she chirped excitedly. The mother watched, smiling softly, her heart lifting at the sight of her daughter so full of life. The human laughed, a warm sound that filled the air, and bent to show the little dragon how to steady her claws and keep balance. The little dragon mimicked eagerly, and the mother joined in, careful at first, then more confidently. The three of them moved together, a strange rhythm forming, the human talking and gesturing, the dragons listening and responding, tiny sparks of understanding passing between them. The mother brushed a wing over her daughter when she tripped, and the little dragon chirped, squealing happily. She nudged her mother and the human proudly. "See, we are learning together." The human nodded, smiling, their eyes soft and kind. The little dragon danced around, showing her new skills, dragging small tools to the human and then to her mother, everyone laughing softly at her excitement. The mother felt warmth in her chest, seeing her daughter happy and safe. She lowered her head, letting the human brush gently over a wing truss, forming strong and steady like vines winding through their hearts. The valley outside remained scarred and silent, but inside the workshop, laughter and learning and small moments of joy made it feel like the world had not ended, that somehow in this little corner, hope could grow and bonds could form, and together they could begin to heal. The human began to show the dragons how to mend broken machines, how to twist and turn levers, how to use fire carefully to fix cracks. The little dragon girl watched with wide eyes, her tiny claws following every movement. She mimicked each gesture eagerly. "Mama, look, see, I can do it too," she chirped excitedly. The mother moved more slowly, at first testing her strength and balance. Under the human's gentle guidance, she learned how to lift small pieces, how to steady them, how to work without hurting herself or her daughter. The human laughed softly and clapped when the little dragon nudged a tiny wheel into place perfectly. The mother smiled, a warm, low rumble of pride filling her chest. The little dragon chirped and hopped around, showing off each small skill. She dragged tiny tools to the human, then to her mother, everyone laughing softly at her excitement. The dragons taught the human in return, showing how to sense the wind, how to hear the whispers of the valley, how to read the clouds for signs of coming storms. The human listened carefully, eyes wide with fascination, and hands steady to learn from creatures so different, yet so wise. The little dragon nudged her mother to follow the human's movements, and the mother mirrored them carefully, wings twitching with new strength. Each day they worked and learned, together, a strange harmony forming between dragon and human. The valley outside still smelled of ash and smoke, but inside, the workshop, laughter and learning and tiny victories made it feel alive again. The mother felt hope fluttering in her chest, seeing her daughter happy and strong, and seeing herself grow stronger. To the little dragon chirped and spun in excitement. "Mama, look, one day soon we will fly again." The human smiled and nodded softly, eyes full of warmth and belief, and for the first time, the dragons felt the promise of the sky waiting for them, and the wind calling them home at last. The mother dragon spread her wings slowly, feeling the muscles stretch and flex under her scorched scales. The little dragon girl danced around her feet, wings quivering with excitement. Mama, look, see how strong you are, she chirped softly. The humans stood nearby smiling and clapping encouragingly, their eyes warm and proud. The mother took a deep breath, the wind brushing against her face, carrying the scent of ash and hope. She looked down at her daughter, her tiny claws clutching a leaf. She smiled softly in her own way. Do you think we can? She whispered, and the little dragon hopped onto her back, tail curling around her mother's neck. I know we can, Mama, she chirped confidently. The human waved and cheered from below. Careful, steady, you can do it. The mother took a running start across the ruined valley, stones clattering beneath her claws. The little dragon held on tight, wings fluttering in excitement. The air lifted them, higher, sparks of ash swirling around them. The mother pushed against the wind, her strength growing with every beat of her wings. The little dragon squealed with joy, and the human laughed. Cheering from below, they rose above the charred trees, above the smoke and silence, above the valley that had tried to break them. They soared together, the mother and daughter side by side, and the human watching below. A bond forged through fear and fire and care lifted them higher than they had thought possible. The valley stretched beneath them, a scarred reminder of the past, but the sky above was wide and endless, and for the first time in a long time the mother felt free. The little dragon danced in the air around her. Mama, Mama, we can fly, we can be strong, we can be safe, she chirped, and the mother rumbled low and deep, wings beating strong together. They flew into the rising sun, into warmth and light, into a new beginning, and the human waved below, their heart full of hope and love for the dragons who had trusted them, and together they knew that no fire, no fear, and no sorrow could ever break the bond that had carried them into the sky.